What's going on, everyone? Looking to build a micro drift car, 1/24th, 1/28th scale. Choices are overwhelming, so let's go shop around a little, shall we? So just in case you're new to this, before I go into it, I will explain the two main differences between let's say a drift car and a regular touring car. So the steering in the front, you can see here, it's got like a 90-degree lock to it. And in the back, we've got a really high motor, or a motor that would be typically mounted at the back of the car, behind the transmission, or maybe the ESC is behind the transmission. But weight bias is high and back to get the back end to shift around a little easier, help you drift. So 90-degree steering to get those crazy angles, and rear bias, high bias motor. Now, trying to drift with a Mini Z is not the same as trying to drift with an actual micro drift car. When you buy a Mini Z, sometimes they come spec'd as drift cars. They'll have plastic tires, especially the MAO2, and four-wheel drive, doesn't have 90-degree steering lock, so not really a drift car. You might stumble across some of the actual micro drift cars, and you know, it's a little annoying that you buy a Mini Z and then you sort of have to buy the rubber tires and make it, you know, an actual drivable car. You can try to drift with them, but not so much. A car specifically made for drifting also has only rear-wheel drive, so makes it a lot easier to drift. So let's look at some of the chassis I've been staring at for the past 6 months, trying to figure this out, sort it out. No particular order. If I've missed anything, please leave something in the comments. But first up, the Atomic DRZ3 MP. If you notice there, it's got a pretty crazy steering angle. You know, Atomic's very well proven in the 1/28 scale racing world. They make a lot of good touring cars, very competitive, and this is very nice quality. You know, it's definitely a top contender in choice. Adjustable wheelbase, 90 to 130, so you can do both scales. A lot of body choices that way. A lot of these chassis are adjustable, so yeah, and does not come with the wheels in the image. You got to be aware of a lot of this. Dig, see what they come with. But yeah, this one's $219. Probably one of the better values of the choices for sure. Now this one's a touch of class. The Drift Art DA4. They just came out with this a bit ago. Tough one to locate. It's, you know, it's kind of special order. Seems to go in and out of stock, but it's a beautiful chassis. It comes fully assembled. A lot of it is alloy. There really isn't any plastics on this. Adjustable wheelbase, width. It's beautiful. And Drift Art makes a lot of electronics too. Sorry about the website here. Kind of flakes out. Yeah, it comes assembled, belt drive, such a nice car, but you know, it's one of those things where you gotta pre-order it, or if it's in stock, you might have to wait for it regardless. So yeah, I don't know. This is definitely a top contender. It's a beautiful, beautiful car, but you know, fully assembled versus the Atomic is not assembled. So that means anything to you, 320 Canadian, it's right around 2 something American. So yeah, definitely a top contender in choices. Now some of these chassis don't have a lot of real estate for electronics. If you notice here, I threw this in here. This is the Rhino Racing. This is on Super G Drift Arena's website. I guess they get it made by Rhino for them. But yeah, this one's stainless steel, a lot of stainless steel, pretty unique chassis. A lot of the drift chassis, so just do different. This one kind of reminds me of old Meccano sets, so a little indifferent about it. But yeah, it's stainless, very nice quality stuff, as you can see here in the pics. Yeah, I don't know, $200 USD. This one isn't my first choice, but I threw it in here because it's stainless. Definitely unique out of all the choices. This one definitely has got my attention. The Onisiki Kodama. Yeah, so not sure if it's actually Japanese. A Chinese company makes a Japanese car. I'm not sure. This one's on A-main though, so I don't know. It's easily accessible. A-main also carries a lot of the parts. Onisiki is known in the drift world for quite some time. This one's super nice. It comes in a couple different versions, white rims or alloy rims, depending on which version you get. It looks like it comes with the body. I get mixed feelings depending on which website I look at, but A-main's showing it with the body, so I'd say that's pretty legit. And yeah, so $200 USD, and as you can see here, quite a bit of parts, some on back order, but usually A-main, if they bring something in, they're gonna bring in the parts too. So feeling pretty strong about this one. It's definitely a super nice quality. Don't have it in my hands, but from the reviews online and some of the conversations on Reddit, it seems like it's a pretty nice setup. So I don't know, this one's looking promising. Now moving on to GL Racing, the GL Drift. This one comes with electronics for 200 USD. So it comes with a nice ESC. The speed control is made by Hobbywing, and it comes with a servo. So it is a kit. Super nice kit. I don't know. I have a GLA and it's beautiful. Super nice kit. I'm still working on it. So quality's there. Proven company, and you know, the Hobbywing ESC, pretty tempting for the price. The TG Super, this one's popular because it's easily found on AliExpress for a reasonable price. You know, a lot of sellers have this. It's been recommended to me by one of my subscribers. You know, it's pretty tempting. I'm not sure what the company is, Burn Racing, but widely available. You can get parts for it. So this one's pretty tempting. Just for the cost, it's so inexpensive and it's nice quality, carbon, aluminum. I mean, you can't go wrong. It comes in black, the purple, and then there's the Max version. It's kind of hard to differentiate between the two. This is the MA Racing. Kind of looks like the Drift Art a bit. Kind of looks like the Kodama. I don't know. A lot of them look very, very similar. And when you dive into them, they're pretty close to the same quality. It's just some of them come with more alloy parts, I would say. Some of them come just a little more refined, I would say. But the price reflects it. Like you can see this LS Studio one here and the previous one are $500 and up Canadian. So, you know, it's high 400s American. They're nice, but you know, is it worth that much? I guess if you have a bunch of the other less expensive ones and you want to get, you know, one of the really nice ones, you kind of take a look at these. But BM Racing, they've got a nice one. They've got one that you can buy and comes with everything. So again, you know, there's so many different choices, but yeah, this one pretty popular because it comes with the body, comes with all the electronics, everything matches. But you're looking at, you know, like $700-800, but you're gonna get there anyway. If you buy everything separate, you're gonna hit that price pretty easily. So this one's super popular. I don't know if I like the fact that it just comes with everything. I like to, you know, piece it together. A lot of these will fit a mini Z body as well, so a lot of body choices. So this seems to be a popular project. People will buy these WL toys, the K989 and 969, and being that they come with all the electronics, there is no gyro though, but you can convert them to drift by changing the front end to have a more aggressive steering angle. You know, the thing about the electronics though is when you buy a gyro, the plugs are going to be different. There's the conversion for the front end, and there's another one coming up. But yeah, you're going to kind of go down a rabbit hole that's going to lead you to spending possibly equal or more than just buying an actual drift car. So just something to consider, but a lot of people have these already. So, and there's this one. If you've already got a Mini Z, an MA02, so the all-wheel drive Mini Z, you can convert it with this MRD Zero kit. This is pretty cool. Allows a more aggressive steering angle. It's essentially a full chassis kit to convert your existing Mini Z if you want to breathe some new life into it, make it into an actual drift car, you can get that steering angle. Now, something to be aware of is servos. You can buy cheap servos. You can get them as low as $10, $20, but there isn't many servo horns that will fit on them. Some of them, you got to pay attention to how many teeth is on the servo, because some of the standard servo horns are going to be like 25 teeth, 23 teeth. See that little servo micro metal servo horn there? Yeah, so something to pay attention to. You're going to need to spend a little more on a servo, but it's going to be worth it. See this ZH 1.5 adapter there? That's the plugs that they're using. It's ZH 1.5. So something to consider about that WL electronics that it comes with it. I don't think it uses the ZH 1.5. So if you go about upgrading electronics, you're going to run into some issues. So it's probably better to just, order a chassis and then order a servo like these AFRC ones, which are quite popular, fully programmable. Run you about 40 to 60 bucks for a decent servo, but it's worth it. And pay attention to the specs. They're going to say at some point in the description, hopefully, that it has how many teeth are on it. So, yeah, you can see here up in the corner here, 25T. So just helps you make sure you don't spend extra money and get discouraged. Just kind of throwing that out there. You can save money on a servo, but could be trouble. Radios, man. So I'm showing you this Dumbo RC radio, the DDF 350, because the receiver that you can get for it has a built-in gyro, has all the connectors, the ZH 1.5 connectors. So you could get this radio for $75 and it has a built-in gyro. Apparently the gyro is pretty good. A lot of these micro drift cars have the option of having a receiver with a gyro built in, but the jury's still out whether an individual gyro is better. The Noble NB4 radio is quite popular too. It would be the slightly higher end choice for sure, but you can get micro receivers for it. You can also use this to run a Mini Z, so definitely a popular choice. Wide variety of cars can be run on this, and you can get different receivers for it. Here's a micro receiver see how small it is, from Das Micro. You can easily find these on AliExpress. I've got one for my GLA, and it's synced up, no problem, to my Noble radio. So also has the ZH 1.5 connectors, 40 bucks for a receiver. Yeah, it's super tiny. I don't know, they're pretty amazing when you get one. You can't believe how small these things are. So yeah, you can get some with gyros built in or individual. Batteries. So the specific thing about batteries is a lot of them use the PH 2.0 connector. Usually you're running like a 350 milliamp battery. They're super tiny. Just look for the ones with the PH 2.0 3-pin connector, and it should work on a lot of the electronics. You can also get these from GL Racing, these little hard case batteries, little micro hard case batteries. So super cute. I don't know, however you want to do it. But yeah, GL Racing's got these available. So they don't all fit on, every chassis. Typically the hard case ones are meant for the touring cars style of 1/28 scale. So, but you could probably fit them in on a lot of the chassis. Now we can go on about ESCs and motors systems, but you can get them as low as about $50, $60. I'm looking at this Rocket RC one just to kind of get something in the car. Seem to be quite popular. You can get a programming card for them, and yeah, you can get them as low as 2,500 kV up to 8,000. So don't need too much power, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Not sure about the gyro. Gonna go with probably the Dumbo RC one, but these Rocket systems seem pretty tempting. So that's it. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I don't want to carry on too much here, but yeah, I'll show you in the next video what I've chosen. And yeah, we'll get this thing built up, and I'm really stoked on micro drift cars. So that's it, everyone. I just wanted to kind of run through some stuff, and I don't know. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing anything, if there's something cool out there you think I should check out. And thanks for stopping by, and yeah, micro drift stuff. Super stoked. Indoor fun.